Carry me back to the place that breaks my heart, 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 whenever I leave.
As frequent visitors to NYC, we're often asked by friends, family, what to do. I'm not very good at advice, but I can show you what we enjoy doing. Welcome to another video about our experiences in New York City. We would recommend two essential things for your visit. The first being a good pair of shoes. There's lots of walking to be done, but that's fine because you'll be burning off all those calories from all that food you're eating. The second thing we would recommend would be the Grey Line bus tours. Now there are other bus tours to be had in New York City. We always use Grey Line because people seem to be having the most fun on them. Now here is a map of the four main loops. The green one being the downtown loop. That's absolutely essential. It's a great way to orientate yourself around the city. There's also the purple loop, which is the uptown loop. There's the red loop, which is the Brooklyn loop. You'll also notice that there's the orange loop as well. That is the downtown night loop, and we cannot recommend that highly enough. If you only do one, do the downtown night loop. What makes these tours for us is that the guides live in New York City, all have their own tips and tricks for getting around and being in the city and where to go, and we've learned so much and gained some friends.
New York University is the reason why. This is called University Village. 80% of these buildings now have the NYU logos printed all over them. This is where their teachers' dorms, seniors' dorms, fraternities, sororities, administrative offices, the film center, drama club, and more, all located here. As we cross the street, you look down the block to your right, you see all the purple and white banners, which is NYU territory. NYU, ladies and gentlemen, is only $65,000 a year.
Now most of the daytime loops are hop on, hop off, so you can go a little way around the city and you can come up, get off maybe at the Empire State, travel all the way up there to the top, and when you get back down you can hop back on the bus again. Now you can buy tickets on most of the street corners where the loop runs. You can also get them advance on the website. We tend to get them when we're there because we can judge what the weather's going to be like. As you see, it's a nice sunny day. You are on an open top bus at the top, so if you are in winter you will need to dress accordingly. Wrap up warm, lots of layers. That's the Flatiron building we're looking at there, and that's the Metropolitan Life building on Madison Square. As you're beginning to see, the downtown loop takes you past most of the major landmarks in New York City. There's St. Paul's Chapel, behind it is World Trade Center 1, Freedom Tower. Amazingly, this chapel sustained no damage in the 9/11 attacks. We're now travelling through Chinatown, working our way up the east side. It's also a good place to see some of the old tenement buildings as we move up through the East Village, past the United Nations building there, and on to Rockefeller Plaza. Now the tour guides and drivers are part of the service industry. We usually tip $5. If we've been on a particularly long tour, we've been on for a while, or we've been very well entertained, then we will usually give $10. I will do a video about tipping very soon. Now we put the downtown tour as absolutely essential, but if you do have time, we would highly recommend that you take one of the other tours, such as the Brooklyn Loop. Here we go, going across the Manhattan Bridge. You can't go across the Brooklyn Bridge, it's closed to commercial traffic. You do get great views of downtown Manhattan. And also, thank you Barclays customers in the UK, you have paid for this. This is the newly opened Barclays Centre, home of the Brooklyn Nets, but don't let that put you off. Also concerts, Paul McCartney, Jay-Z, everyone's playing there now. Well worth checking to see who's going to be performing there during your stay. One of the reasons that the Barclays Centre is so important to the people of Brooklyn, the flats you're looking at now were once the home of the Brooklyn Dodgers' Ebbets Field. The man that moved them to LA, Mr. Walter O'Malley, is still the most hated man in Brooklyn. And that's up against some pretty stiff competition, I can tell you. We're shortly going to be staying in Brooklyn, So we're looking forward to bringing you lots of Brooklyn information very soon. Now on the Uptown Loop, one of the highlights is the Dakota Building and Strawberry Fields, where John Lennon once lived. Yoko Ono still lives there. Another highlight for music fans is the Harlem's Apollo Theatre. I shall let the tour guide tell you about it.
The likes of Charlie Parker to Nat King Cole, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, etc. Then, of course, 1960s came about, and then, of course, it became, of course, the mecca for Motown, TSOP, the Sound of Philadelphia. It is backstage here at the Apollo Theater where Smokey Robinson penned My Girl.
Another mecca for music fans, that's Duke Ellington on the northeast corner of Central Park. It's also, for sports fans, the location of the original Polo Grounds. For culture vultures, we've got the Guggenheim. Now we bring you to the jewel in the crown of loops, the nighttime loop. Now this isn't a hop-on, hop-off service. You have to pick it up at Times Square, just up from the TKTS steps that are here on the corner of 7th Avenue and West 47th Street. If you do no other loop, then please do this one. It is unbelievably spectacular. But again, you're on an open top bus. It can get very, very cold. Layers, people. Layers. Now, along with views in Manhattan, we have views of Manhattan. It takes you across the Manhattan Bridge. So again, a hat that fits your head very well is the order of the day. These video clips do not do this view any justice whatsoever. I apologise about the limitations of our equipment. In the description for the video I will put links for Grey Line and the Grey Line map so you can have a look at the prices and the various loop options. I would like to thank you for watching once again. Come and find me on Twitter or email me at paulmossnyc@gmail.com. Take care.